Hey, welcome to the channel, guys. In today's video, we're going to discuss what are the benefits of investing in real estate. And we'll go down the list and talk about all the different ways that investing in real estate can benefit you financially. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Here are the benefits of investing in real estate. All right, number one is steady cash flow or passive income. If you purchase a rental property, you can earn a steady stream of rental income each month. And the difference between how much your expenses every month and how much rent you're collecting is your cash flow. So as an investor, if you own a rental property, obviously you can go ahead and make a steady income or a passive income by owning a rental property. And this will generate some cash flow for you every month. So that's the first benefit of owning a real estate investment property. Number two, we have appreciation, which allows you to build long-term wealth. Basically, when you own real estate, it tends to appreciate in value. And this varies by region, It varies by region depending on where you are, what city you're located in. But appreciation is another great method of building wealth. Over time, real estate assets tend to appreciate in value. Nationally, I think the average is about 4% annually under normal conditions. In some places, it could be as much as 10% plus. But generally, you can accumulate wealth or build long-term wealth by holding on to a property, and appreciation will increase the value of your property. So that's benefit number two. The next great advantage of owning a real estate investment property is tax benefits. When you own investment properties, there are a lot of tax advantages that come with owning real estate. For example, you can deduct certain expenses related to your property for mortgage interest, property taxes, and depreciation. And one of the key ways you can actually reduce a lot of your tax burden is through depreciation. Again, talk to a tax expert to get more details, but owning real estate is a great way to lessen your burden on your tax, how much you owe in taxes. I'll do a separate video about depreciation and how that can greatly decrease your tax burden. As much as some real estate investors pay almost nothing in taxes, using these tax code benefits to their advantage. So I'll talk more about that on a separate video, but in this scenario, this is another benefit to owning real estate. Another benefit of holding real estate as part of your investment portfolio is diversification. If you only own stocks or bonds and you only have one single asset class in your investment portfolio, you're exposing yourself to risks, right? When the market goes down, the stock market is doing horrible as it has this last few months, then you're impacted significantly from a financial perspective, right? Your net worth goes down, your investments are taking a hit. But by owning real estate, you're diversifying your portfolio, number one, and number two, you're not impacted as greatly when there is a down market. So that is another great benefit of owning real estate as an investment. The next benefit closely aligned to associated with the last benefit is control. You have control over your investment, right? Unlike stocks, you have no control over what the company does on a day-to-day basis. You have no control over what the executives of that company are doing to run the business. They can make mistakes. They can do some crazy outcomes, crazy things that will impact the stock value overnight. All right, we've seen this happen many times with companies. Getting some new report gets released about how the executives have been running the company, and suddenly the stock plummets 40%, 80% overnight. Right, so you have no control as a stockholder what the executives are doing with the company and how they're operating it day to day. So you're at their mercy. So versus real estate, you have full control over that real estate. You control whether you want to rent it out you want to sell it, you want to keep it, you want to fix some items, you have full control. You have full control of what you do with that investment on a day-to-day basis. So as part of that, control is another great benefit versus other investment instruments like stocks and bonds or mutual funds. Another great benefit of real estate investing is inflation protection. As we've seen it recently, inflation has been out of control, increasing anywhere from 5 to as much as 12%. Some even estimates are saying inflation is actually much more than that. And owning real assets like real estate gives you some level of protection. Typically, when there's inflation goes out of control, people tend to flock to investments that are tangible investments like real estate or gold. So real estate is another great way to hedging your bets against inflation. It typically does very well against inflation, historically speaking, when you look at the data. So another great benefit to hedging your bet against inflation is owning real estate investment properties. So the next item is real estate is a tangible asset, right? Unlike stocks and bonds, where it's just the paperwork saying that you own a portion of a company and it has no other utility, real estate does have a utility outside of being an investment. You can live in a real estate property, you can use it as a business, you can use it as many different ways, but it has other utilities. It's a tangible asset, right? You can touch and feel it. And it has other ways that you can utilize that property besides just using it as an investment, right? So unlike a stock where it's directly linked to how the company performs, you can't do anything with it. If the company goes down overnight, that stock paperwork means absolutely nothing, right? It's worthless. You can use it as toilet paper at that point. Unlike a real estate, even in a crazy scenario, if the real estate market crashes and the value goes down to zero, you can always live in that property, right? You can use it for business, you can use it for different ways. It's still a house, right? It's still a housing that can be utilized by you, your family, or other people. So that is another benefit of investing in real estate versus investing into stocks and bonds simply. And then finally, leverage, right? The great benefit of investing in real estate is that you can leverage your money. What do I mean by that? It means that you can use your money to borrow more money so that you can purchase bigger and more properties. For example, if you have $100,000 to invest, and let's say you want to invest in stocks, typically there are methods, but typically you can only buy $100,000 worth of stocks, and that is it, right? Versus in real estate, you can use that $100,000 to put down towards a property, and depending, whether you're doing FHA or you're doing, conventional, or you're doing commercial, buying commercial property, you can use $100,000 to leverage. As much as an FHA perspective, you can put down $100,000, use that as 3%, and essentially buy almost $1.5 million property, or maybe it's much more than that. Or you can use that as 20% down to get a conventional mortgage or a commercial mortgage and purchase a $500,000 property, right? So what that means by leverage is that your dollar goes a long way. You can stretch your dollar by leveraging it and getting a financing to purchase and invest on a bigger deal, right? So that's another benefit of investing in real estate versus in stocks. Typically, $100,000 is going to buy you $100,000 worth of stocks, right? Now, to the stock investors out there, day traders, they may say there's ways to leverage, but typically there's high risks involved with that, and it's not recommended. So finally, leverage is another benefit to this, and that wraps up the list. And thank you for watching the video, guys. Until next time, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And don't forget to comment. Until next time, take care.